Best wishes for your continued success, Michael. Ah, my wife should appreciate that. I thought you could send letters and pictures through the internet. Oh, the mail slot. I see.
Welcome to the Real People's Guide to the Internet. I'm Cindy.
And I'm Greg.
And remember, the most important thing is don't panic, because anybody can work a computer. And remember, the Internet really is for everyone.
We'll explain what the Internet is, how to log on and get started, searching the net, show some great sites, personalizing your Internet. And finally, with the basics under our belt, we'll learn some advanced tips that will help us to master the net.
The Internet is the largest computer network in the world. To help us better understand the Internet, we'll briefly explain what a network is.
A network is a group of computers that communicate with each other. People set up networks in their home or office. A network allows computers to share information, like computer files. It even allows people in different physical locations to share the same printer.
This is a non-networked environment. In a non-networked environment, the only way to share files is to physically move them.
Hey, Pierce, you have the Fernandez file?
Here you go, boss.
This is a networked environment. In a networked environment, files are moved through the computer.
You know, if she really wanted to, set me up, I could...
Hey, Pierce, where's the Fernandez file?
Hold on a second. Check your hard drive. I made those changes 3 days ago. So anyway, I was telling her...
The Internet is the largest computer network in the world. We like to think of it as the next major progression in communication.
Yeah, people first used smoke signals to communicate, and then came the telephone.
Greg, actually, the logical progression of communication was the messenger, the telegram, and the telegraph.
Well, maybe my history has a few gaps, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the reason the Internet is the next major step in communication is because it takes everything having to do with communicating and improves it.
For example, before the Internet, you can only buy things over the phone if you knew exactly what you wanted. But with the Internet, you don't have to know what you're looking for. Just go browsing, and when you find what you want, buy it right through the computer.
We can get movie times over the phone, but with the Internet, we can see movie previews, get movie times and locations, and even print a map with directions from our house to the theater.
With the Internet, you can email each other letters and pictures.
And that's just the beginning.
You may have heard the Internet called the net, or the information highway, or cyberspace. Don't get confused, they all mean the same thing. You may have also heard the term World Wide Web. Now, there are some technical differences between the World Wide Web and the Internet, but to most of us, these differences just don't matter.
Right now, there are 57 million people who use the Internet, and by the year 2000, it's estimated that over 400 million people will have access to the Internet worldwide.
That's amazing, Greg. Well, now that we know what the Internet is, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Marcia. It's nice to see you, Peter.
Nice to see you, Marcia. Now, in this section, we're going to learn how to connect to the Internet and learn the basics of browsing. In order to connect to the Internet, you need 3 things. You need a modem, an Internet Service Provider, or ISP, and a browser. A modem is used to receive and send information. An Internet Service Provider, for a fee, gives you access to the Internet.
A browser lets us view information on the web.
Now, modems, browsers, and ISPs can be a little confusing, so let's take another look at them.
Good idea, Peter. A modem is a device that lets computers communicate through phone lines and cable lines. A modem sends and receives information. If we're using a telephone modem, instead of connecting our phone line to the telephone, we connect it to the computer, like this.
Another option is a cable modem. A cable modem connects to the Internet through a television cable. It doesn't use a phone line. You should call your cable company to see if they provide this cable modem service.
Why would we use a cable line instead of a phone line?
Remember, Marcia, a modem is used to receive and send information. When you use a telephone modem, the computer receives information about as fast as a person walking. But when you use a cable modem, the computer receives information as fast as a jet fighter plane. In fact, the cable modem receives information about 200 times faster than the telephone modem.
I used to walk 20 miles in the snow to log on to the internet. Nowadays, things are much simpler. I can access the internet right from my house.
There are many companies that give us access to the internet.
An internet service provider is a company that lets us access the internet. An ISP is like a cable company. A cable company lets us view cable stations. An ISP lets us access the internet. There are hundreds of ISPs. You can find them in the phone book under Internet Services. We recommend using a well-established internet service provider.
A bad ISP is the worst. When I want to access the web, I want to access the web. Busy, busy, busy. All I want to do is get connected to the net.
Before signing up with an ISP, ask your friends what ISP they use to connect to the internet. And ask the ISP how many customers it has per phone line. If an ISP has more than 10 customers per phone line, you may get a busy signal. Remember, ask the ISP for references.
The third thing we need to connect to the internet is a browser. The browser is a lot like a TV. A TV lets us see what's on. And in the same way, a browser lets us see information on the internet.
The two most popular browsers are Netscape Navigator and Microsoft Internet Explorer. For this video, we'll use Microsoft Explorer.
You can try both browsers and see which one you prefer. Either way, the commands we're going to teach you work pretty much the same on both Netscape Navigator and Microsoft Internet Explorer.
Now that we have our tools, let's log on. To log on the internet, we first have to connect to the ISP. These icons represent objects like programs or folders. Your ISP should help you set up your computer's information so you can use an icon on your desktop to connect to the internet.
Our icon is labeled Greg's Connection. Let's double-click on it. Next, we enter our password and click on the Connect button. Now that we're connected, we can open the Internet Explorer browser by moving the mouse to the Internet Explorer icon and double-clicking.
Now, the first thing we see when we start the browser is called our home page. Our home page is our starting point.
At the top left corner of the page is that page's title. This page is msn.com. After the name of the page is the name of the browser, Microsoft Internet Explorer.
Underneath the title bar are menus. These menus are similar to the ones in Microsoft Word and Excel. Clicking one of these menus gives us a drop-down menu displaying various commands. We'll go over the menus as we continue through the video, but remember, we can always go to the Help menu if we get stuck.
Underneath the menu bar are icons. These icons are shortcuts to frequently used commands.
Beneath the icons is an address bar. Each web page has its own address.
Address bar? What is that, some kind of singles joint? Like, hi, welcome to the address bar. How are you? Come on in, take a load off. You're looking good tonight. What's your sign?
An internet address usually starts with the letters HTTP, followed by a colon and 2 forward slashes. This website address is http://www.msn.com.
The last 3 letters of the address describe the site. For example, .com or .com is a commercial site, .gov is a governmental site, and .edu is an educational institution, like a library or university.
To go to a specific website, simply type the address in the address bar. Let's go to CNN's website. Although most web addresses are preceded by the letters HTTP, a colon, and 2 slashes, we don't have to type them. Just click on the address bar, type www.cnn.com, and press Enter. Now our browser takes us to CNN's homepage.
Wait a minute. I thought a home page is the first page that comes up when you start a browser.
Well, Greg, the term homepage is used to refer to both the main document of any website as well as the first page that appears when you start the browser.
Okay, and what's the difference between a website and a web page?
Well, a website is a collection of web pages, while a web page is just one document. You can see that both the title at the top of the screen and the address in the address bar have changed to CNN. Companies frequently use their own company name in their website, like www.cnn.com, www.disney.com, and www.thoughtsource.com. So when you want to find a company's website, try typing www.thecompanyname.com in the address bar.
Now let's return to our home page. Move the mouse to the toolbar and click on the small picture of a house. This brings us back to our home page, msn.com.
Another way to move from site to site is by linking or hyperlinking. By clicking on a link on the screen, it automatically moves you to another location on the internet.
My doctor told me I was too old to hyperlink, so I changed doctors. I hyperlink all the time. I would like to confirm that hyperlinking is in no way harmful to your health.
Linking is easy. We can always tell when we can link to another page because our mouse pointer turns to a hand pointing a finger.
We just finished our first connection to the internet. Not bad, huh? We learned that before we could connect to the internet, we had to set up 3 things. A modem, which physically connects us to the internet, an ISP, which gives us access to the internet, and a browser, which lets us see the information on the web. Remember, a constant busy signal's no fun, so make sure to ask your friends who they use for an ISP and get references. Frequently, companies use their own name as their internet address, like www.cnn.com. An internet address ending in .com is a commercial site, .gov is a government site, and .edu is an educational institution.
Now that we know what a browser is, let's learn how to search for information. But before we start exploring, it's time for a word of advice.
Use the internet at your own risk. The internet assumes no responsibility for hours wasted linking to random silly pages or discovering that your name is on the internet. Excessive time may be spent if caution is not applied. No money down, batteries not included, tax and tag optional. Inception fees may apply. I may be lying, but maybe not.
Alrighty then, let's do a search on the internet. In order to surf the net, we use a search engine or navigational guide.
Hey, I used to use a board to surf.
Thanks, Pops. A navigational guide is a website that helps us search for and find things on the net. There are lots of different navigational guides. If we click on the picture of a small world with a magnifying glass, we'll automatically be taken to a navigational guide.
Hey, Marcia, I thought you said there were a lot of search engines. How come Yahoo came up?
Well, Peter, the search icon randomly selects one search engine, and in this case, it chose Yahoo. To start a search, move the mouse pointer down to the search bar and click. I heard a hurricane is approaching Miami. Let's find out information about the weather. So we'll type the word weather and click on the search button.
Wow, that's a great search. We got weather.com, the Weather Channel, as our first site.
Actually, what you're looking at is an advertisement. Since most websites do not charge us to visit them, they sell advertising space to make money. When we move the mouse, it turns into a hand while it's on the advertisement, so we could link directly to the Weather Channel's site.
When the mouse turns into the hand, Oh! And then we will be briskly swept away into the website of the Weather Channel, weather.com. Toe.
The actual search results are shown in this blue bar. We see that Yahoo found 203 categories and 3,647 sites for weather.
Geez, that search is outrageous. I don't have time to look at 203 categories and 3,647 sites about the weather. I just want to see if I can go to the beach tomorrow.
Since we want to find the weather in Miami, we can make our search more specific. When we do a search on the net, the search engine looks for articles and categories with our search word.
To focus our search, we scroll down to the bottom of the screen and type Miami weather in quotes. The quotes around Miami weather tell the search engine to only find information that has the words Miami and weather next to each other. Then we click Next Search.
Looks like a good search. Only one category and 3 sites.
Let's scroll down to see the sites. In Telecast, Miami weather. That looks good. We'll click on that link.
Perfect. A 4-day forecast of Miami weather. Hi, this site is cool.
We can even see a moving satellite loop of the weather in Miami. Just click on the moving satellite link.
Wow, Marcia, I like that satellite picture.
Let's print it. Move our mouse to the picture of a small printer and click once.
It is important to remember that web pages may take a long time to appear on the screen, especially when reading pictures like this satellite image. If a page is taking too long to come up on the screen, we can always interrupt the transmission by hitting the stop button, which is right here on the toolbar.
That printout of the map looks great.
It sure does, Marcia. Hey, I know we use a navigational guide to look for search terms, but can we use it to look for anything else?
Sure we can. Navigational guides contain links to information that's both interesting and informative. From Yahoo's homepage, we can click on a link for Yellow Pages, People Search, or Today's News. We can look for information on categories like News and Media, Arts and Humanity, Business and Economy, and much, much more. Just try any link.
While we just learned how to search the web using a navigational guide, we focused our search by putting quotations around the words Miami weather and found exactly what we wanted. Finally, we saw that a navigational guide provides us with different categories that we can link to. Don't go away. Coming up, we've got Greg and Cindy with a very special guest who will show us the coolest sites on the net.
In this section, we're going to find the hot links on the net and how to add a site to our favorites list.
Get your pen ready. We're going live with my twin brother Bobby, who will show us some great sites to check out. Take it away, Bobby.
Thanks, Greg. We're live at the gateway to the internet, where we'll visit some of today's hottest websites. Our first stop on the information superhighway is Travelocity at www.travelocity.com. This site is great for those of us who would rather travel by plane than by computer. It's easy to book and pay for travel anywhere in the world. The website will tell you the lowest available fares for the itinerary of your choice. You can even set up car rentals and hotel reservations for your trip. If you have a flexible schedule, keep an eye out for some great last-minute deals. You may even find the trip of your dreams for next to nothing. If recent fluctuations in the stock market have left you craving up-to-the-minute financial news, check out QuoteWatch.com. The homepage gives us general market information at a glance in an easy-to-read format. Individual stocks can be checked out by their ticker symbol, and information on futures, options, and the foreign exchange is only a mouse click away. Wondering what a hematoma is? Need information about healthcare? Check out Mediconsult.com. At Mediconsult, you can search for specific medical topics, read about the latest in groundbreaking research, or purchase health-related products and services. And if you can't find the information you're looking for, just ask the experts. Shopping on the net is out of this world. Here's a clip from the Authentic Kilt Factory in Scotland.
We just got an order for 20 more authentic kilts. That makes 23,362 and a half authentic kilts sold this month. When are they going to be ready, McDougal? I don't think we can take much more of these kilts.
With e-commerce, practically anything can be bought online. Visit www.imall.com, the online super department store. With categories like business, fashion, and sports and outdoor, you can make all of your purchases right from your own home. Interested in a new career? Tired of knocking on doors? Do it all right from your own computer with CareerPath.com. Browse through thousands of job listings to find the career that's right for you. Post your resume and jobs will hunt you down. Or start by doing research on how to get a job. If you need to expand your library of software on a shoestring budget, try www.download.com. You can download thousands of free software programs like games, screensavers, and much, much more. And finally, if you're looking for a website that offers a lot of everything in one convenient location, try an online community like InfoSpace. InfoSpace offers a wide variety of useful information, including current news on just about every topic. The self-described Ultimate Directory will help find anything from a long-lost friend to an apartment. You could spend another hour just exploring all of the links, so we recommend dialing up, logging on, and simply browsing.
Thanks, Bobby. What's the easiest way to get to these sites?
Well, Cindy, the first time we visit a website, we can type the web address in the address bar, like www.travelocity.com.
I like the InfoSpace site. Do I have to write the whole address in the address bar every time to get to that site?
That's a good question, Greg. When we find an interesting website, we can create a shortcut to it in our favorites list. We are back at the InfoSpace site. Let's add InfoSpace to our favorites list. Go to the Favorites menu and click once. When the drop-down menu appears, select Add to Favorites. This will add the page to your favorites. Then click OK. Now, we can go to the InfoSpace site from anywhere on the internet. We just click on Favorites and select InfoSpace. This is Bobby signing off from the Gateway to the Internet. Now, back to the studio with Greg and Cindy.
Thanks, Bobby. Those sure were some great sites. I'll have to check them out later. But right now, let's go back to Peter and Marcia, who will show us how to personalize our internet experience.
In this section, we give our internet environment that personal touch.
Let's start by personalizing our home page. Now we're back at our home page. The home page has several different categories. From the top, we have our email, news, and stock quotes. To change the layout of this information, click on the Personalize button.
Now we can change our home page. Let's add more newspapers to our news category by clicking on New York Times and Fox News. We can even change the order of our categories, so news comes first. Just click on News. When it turns to orange, click on the up arrow until news is at the top. Now click on Update to see our changes.
News is now at the top of the page, and the New York Times and Fox News have been added.
Now I'm getting the hang of this. I like the internet so much more since I've personalized my homepage. You know, it's great being able to have access to specific information without wasting time wading through information I'm not interested in.
Now let's change our homepage. We can change our homepage to whatever we want. Let's change our homepage from MSN.com to CNN.com.
First, click on the View menu. When the drop-down menu appears, choose Internet Options.
To change our homepage, we just type CNN.com in this box and press Enter. From now on, whenever we start our browser, CNN.com will be the first page that comes up. In addition, when we click on the home icon, we get taken to our new home page, CNN.com.
Personalizing your internet is a great way to get the information you're interested in while weeding out all that dull stuff. Just click on the Personalize button and add or move things around. Changing your home page is easy. Click on View, go to Internet Options, and type a new home page.
In this section, we'll learn how to master the net by using email, mailing lists, news groups, and chatting.
One of the most widely talked about aspects of the internet is email. Just think, we can send messages anywhere in the world, and we can even attach files, pictures, or video clips. And the best part of all, it's even free.
Email works just like the regular mail system. It uses addresses and return addresses. Usually the address consists of a username, which is any name you choose. Next to the username is the @ symbol, which you get by pressing the Shift and the number 2 keys. Finally, the domain name is like your street address. It's where your mail will be sent. For example, my email address is cindy@thoughtsource.com. To set up Hotmail, go to msn.com, scroll down to Email, and click on the button labeled Hotmail. Then follow the instructions for new users. In about 4 minutes, you have your own email account.
The address you set up will be the name that you choose at hotmail.com. Our email is don'tpanic100@hotmail.com.
We type Don't Panic 100, enter our password, and click the Enter button. We have 2 messages. Just click on a message to read it.
On the left side of the screen are buttons that take us to our inbox, let us compose new mail, and access our address book.
Is Hotmail the only way to get email? I don't think so.
You're right, Mike. Let's look at another email program, Microsoft Outlook.
To start Outlook, double-click on this icon. The screen is divided in half. On the left side, we see a list of folders, including a calendar, contacts, and our inbox. The inbox is highlighted. On the right side, we see the contents of the highlighted folder, in this case, the inbox letters. These are the letters that have been emailed to us.
At the top of the screen are menus. Clicking on a menu displays a list of commands. Under the menus is a toolbar with icons. These icons are shortcuts to frequently used commands.
Now what if I want to send a new message?
Click once on the miniature picture of a letter to start a new message. Let's send a message to my friend Ken. Type ken@thoughtsource.com for the address. Type hello for the subject, and then type the message, hi.
After typing the message, we can attach files or pictures. Double-click next to the toolbar to see the different icons. Then, click on the Attachments icon to include a file.
Hey, that icon looks just like a paperclip. Oh! I get it.
After clicking on the small picture of a paperclip, a window appears, giving us a choice of where to select our file from. The My Documents folder is the default folder, but if we wanted, we could click on the down arrow and select a different directory.
To attach a file, just double-click on that file. We will double-click on the letter to Tom. As you can see, a little icon representing the file comes up in the middle of our message. To send the message, just click on this icon labeled Send.
To answer an email, just click on the Reply icon on the toolbar. The program will automatically fill in the address and the subject, and the letter will include the text of the original message that we're replying to.
Once we have an email account, we can start to join mailing lists. A mailing list is a group conversation using email. Any member of the group can send a message to a central email address. The mail is then forwarded to everyone on the list. To find lists on interesting topics, check out neosoft.com.
Neosoft has a directory of mailing lists at www.neosoft.com/internet/ well, just check the guide that came with the video.
There are hundreds of subjects that range from actors to horoscopes to the Klingon language. Each list has its own set of instructions on how to subscribe. So just click on any list and start reading.
If we want to get involved in discussions but don't want to receive a lot of email, we can try a news group. A news group is very similar to a mailing list, except that all entries and articles are posted in a central location.
A popular site to find news groups is www.dejanews.com. Simply go to the news group to read and submit articles. Submitting an article is called posting on the net. Just click on a subject like art, business, or computers and start posting.
Can't wait to see this movie.
I am psyched for this movie.
She tells me to get online to chat with her, and then she never shows up. I don't understand women.
No email? He tells me he's going to meet me online to chat, and he never shows. I just don't understand men.
Finally, if we crave live interaction, we can have typewritten conversations in chat rooms. Some popular online communities that have chat rooms are MSN.com, AOL.com, and GeoCities.com. Let's go to www.geocities.com. Click on People and Chat to see all of the topics to choose from.
Although most chat rooms use simple text, www.worlds.net lets you enter special chat rooms as a three-dimensional character. In these chat rooms, we see the fictional characters of the people we're talking to.
We just mastered the net. That's cool. With email, we can send messages around the world in a matter of minutes. We can even attach files, pictures, or video clips. With mailing lists, we can send and receive email on a subject of our choice. News groups allow us to post articles and read articles from a central location. And finally, we can enter an online community and have real-time conversations.
All right, now you're surfing. You're linking from page to page like crazy. You're unbeatable. You're finding all the links, and I mean all of them. There's nothing you can't find out about because you're an internet master. I mean, you're a web surfing, page linking maniac.
But you've just linked your way out of the greatest page of your life, baby, and you don't think you'll ever find your way back.
That's okay. We can just hit the picture of the back arrow to return to the previous page.
Let's go over everything we've learned about the internet.
We learn the basics of networking and the internet. A network is a group of computers that communicate with each other. And the internet is the largest computer network in the world.
Navigating through the internet is easy. Just type the internet address to go to a particular site. Hyperlink to find what you're looking for when the pointer turns into a hand. Or you can just start by searching.
We visited cool sites on the internet where we could buy things, research information, and download software. We even saved a website in our favorites file.
To personalize our internet, we've changed the appearance of our home page by clicking on the Personalize button. We've also changed our home page from MSN.com to CNN.com by clicking on View, then Internet Options, then typing CNN.com.
Finally, we learned how to communicate through the internet using email, mailing lists, news groups, and chat rooms.
When using a telephone modem, remember it's just like making a telephone call, so naturally your phone line will be busy. So when you're finished using the net, make sure you disconnect from your internet service provider.
Otherwise, you can tie up your phone line for hours.
If you want to find a specific topic that was covered in the video, you can always look at the outline that came with the video.
To learn the basics of Windows 98, Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Excel, check out the Real People's Guide to Basic Software. Also, be sure to look for the Real People's Guide to Microsoft Word 1 and Microsoft Excel 1. See you on the net.
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 Hey, Cindy, where'd you get that great-looking skirt?
It's not a skirt, Greg. It's a kilt, and I got it at the Authentic Kilt Factory on the internet.